Hi everyone, so this is lesson 11. We are looking at page 22 today, which is the tonic triad. Now, you may more commonly know the tonic triad as the word chord. A chord is basically the same as a tonic triad, and a chord is when we hear two or more notes played at the same time together. If we look at page 22, it says the keynote or the first degree of the scale. So that means the first degree of the scale means, so in C major, the first note is C, G major, the first note of the scale is G, D major, the first note of the scale is D, and F major, the first note of the scale, the keynote is F, okay? So that first note of the scale is your keynote. So it has another name and it's called the tonic. So rather than me calling it the first note or the keynote from now on, you may hear the reference of the word the tonic. So the tonic triad, and it says here, the tonic triad is a group of three notes, the keynote, so that's the first note, plus the third note and the fifth degrees above it. So basically in each scale, a chord comprises of the first, third, and fifth notes of the scale, okay? And then it shows you what the three tonic triads in C major look like. The first one that we've got, which is this one here, we've got middle C at the bottom, and then the note on top of it is E. E is the third note of the C major scale. And on top of that, we've got the note G, because G is the fifth note of the scale, okay? We've got another version of it here. We've got the C above middle C this time. So we've got the C at the bottom, E, which is the third note of the scale, like we said, above it, and G, which is the fifth note of the scale, above that. And then third example that we have here, we have it in the bass clef. So the bottom note in this bass clef is the C below middle C, the E above that, and the G above that. So the thing to remember is the tonic triad consists of the first, which is also known as the tonic, the third, and the fifth notes of the scale. You will probably more commonly know them, as I said, as chords. So you'll recognise the sound of them. So I'm just going to demonstrate some of them on the piano and give you some of these notes for you to look at when you are working on it in the book. So we've already said C major comprises of C, E, and G, okay? So that's the first, the tonic, the third, and the fifth notes of the scale. So whether it's down here, whether it's up here, or whether it's down in the bass clef, still the same, C, E, and G, okay? The other ones that you need to know for grade 1 are the scales that you've already learned. So one of them, the next example in exercise 1, this is one of the questions, you've got the G tonic triad. So the G tonic triad is going to start on the note G because it's the tonic, it's the first note of the scale. So what are the other notes of the G tonic triad? Have a think. It's going to be B because that's the third note of the scale, and it's going to be D because that's the fifth note of the scale. Play them together, we get the chord of G, okay? So that's the G major chord. So if you were to play these on the piano at home, if you saw some chords you were playing along to pop tunes or things like that, G major chord is just the G tonic triad. That's all the chord is, like I said, okay? G, B, D gives us the G major tonic triad. Other ones that you'll need to know are F major. So F major has one flat in the key signature. So when you're looking at exercise 1, where it has the example that has one flat in the key signature, that's going to be your F triad, okay? So just giving you a bit of helpful hints here, this one here is going to be the F triad, okay? Because it's got the key signature of one flat, B flat. It doesn't matter where you do it. So you could do the F below the stave, or you could do the F on that fourth line up, as you know where those notes already are. So what are the notes of the F tonic triad? Let's have a look. Here's my middle C. I'm going to start on the F below middle C. So we know that the bottom note's going to be F because it's the tonic, it's the first. What are the next two notes going to be? So that's the F tonic triad. F, first note of the scale, tonic. A, third note of the scale, C, fifth note of the scale. So F major tonic triad, or the chord of F is F, A, C. Okay, first, third, and fifth. The only other one that you need to know is the D major triad. Okay, so D major, obviously, we're going to start on D. It's the tonic, it's the first. What's the next note going to be? And think carefully, it's a bit of a trick question. Third note of D major scale is F sharp. not F, F sharp. It'll be in the key signature, so you need to look out for that in the key signature during the exercise. You don't need to draw the sharp sign, remember, if it's already in the key signature, because it affects that whole bar. And then the fifth, which is the A, D, F sharp, and A. Okay, and finally, we're going to just have a read through 22 and 23. There's a lot of reading to be done for this composing and answering rhythm, okay? So make sure you have a good read through the information at the bottom of 22 and at the start of 23, okay? This is really a composition exercise because you're writing your own ideas. So it isn't. I'm not really going to be able to give you any marks for this or any rights or wrongs. The things that you need to look out for are the hints that they've put on the pages 22 and 23. What we're going to do today, because we're going to talk more about that composing, answering rhythms next week, I just want you to do exercise 1 at the bottom of page 23. It's asking you here, rewrite these bars so that they sound the same. So when you write the bar, when you write it underneath, it needs to sound exactly the same as what it's written above. It says make any necessary corrections in the use of beams, ties, and dots. So if you can beam a note together, beam it together. If you can tie a note together, tie it. And if you can dot it, then dot it. So for example, the example here they've given you, we've got two quavers and a crotchet. We know that we can beam a first beat, one whole beat together. So those two quavers get beamed together there, okay? Things to look out for here as well. We've got a crotchet tied to a quaver. So we can do something there, can't we, to make that one note, okay? Make sure when you're beaming that you don't cross the beats as well. So if we look at this one here, for example, 2-4, we want a clear first beat. So show through your beaming beat 1 and then show through your beaming beat 2. So there shouldn't be a crossover of beat 1 into beat 2. Okay, so make sure you keep them separate. So as well as the tonic triads at the top of page 22, have a go at exercise 1 on the bottom of page 23. Make sure, like I said, you've had a read of 22 and 23 as well. That will come in useful when we do more work on it next week.